of my favorite actresses, one of my favorite scream queens, just a really awesome person. Scout Taylor Compton, thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh, thank you. That was very sweet of you to say.
Well, it's near Valentine's Day, so I thought I'd sweeten up my usual routine.
Oh,
But
that's special.
like many of you out there, I fell in love with Scout's work, starting with the Rob Zombie films. I'm a huge Halloween fan, and I just really loved your performance. And it was so cool when we first met at Warped Tour all those years ago. I spotted you. I was like, "That is Scout. I got to talk to her." So I'm
I
glad
think
that
the first thing you said to me was Laurie Strode or Michael Myers. It was something like that.
I was like, "You made a fantastic Laurie Strode,"
Yeah.
and I'm just so glad that we became friends because I, admire your work so much. So thanks for agreeing to be with me today and talk about this new Elvis cover.
Yes, of course, which I've heard and I'm obsessed with. It's amazing. I think it suits you very, very, very well. I know you as like a very like old soul. Like you have like
Hmm.
this, yes. So as soon as you sent it to me, I was like, perfect. I was like,
Well,
Elvis and you had a baby. Yeah.
well, I'm so glad. I try to go for that dapper meets evil, so I think this cover might
It
be
was
right in line with that.
very haunting and very sensual.
Yeah, yes, that's also what I was going for. So thank you so much. I got the idea for doing the song to kind of bring it back to Rob Zombie talk. I always loved when directors like Rob or like Stanley Kubrick use that juxtaposition of a classic, normally not haunting song with striking, scary visual.
Yeah.
So I love how Rob did that, especially in the Halloween movies. I think there are a number of classic songs that went with this really kind of violent imagery or like post-violent scene. So it's really cool and interesting to be talking with you because those movies kind of somewhat inspired me to do something like this with the
You can tell.
classic song.
You can tell. How was the experience filming the video?
It was very cool. We worked with this director, Miles, who is a good friend of mine, and he directed the Silver Stream movie, which we released in the fall, which was our little version of a Zoom live stream that's gone wrong. We actually had Bill Moseley in it, another
Oh,
Rob Zombie veteran,
oh my
and
God.
he was so fun in it, and such a cool thing to work with him because I admire his work so much. And so yeah, we teamed up with Miles to do this video. We filmed it in LA, I want to say in mid-December, and it was cool. I'm used to getting the zombie makeup put on because we do a lot of theatrical makeup in our show, so that was sort of like old hat for me, but I had never worn a straitjacket before. And
Was
for
it
those of
comfortable?
you, you know what? Surprisingly, I requested that it be lined with a little bit of cashmere, so it was quite elegant, psychotic but elegant. But yeah, it
Now,
was a great.
how long? How long did you have to stay in that thing?
About I want to say 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
No, it was I would say about 30 to 45 minutes of the straight jacket shoot. But I got to tell you, I liked it so much. I ordered a few, and I sometimes I wear them around the house.
It's like your comfort blanket.
Exactly, exactly. And all of you that are watching at home, we are going to be world premiering the video at the end of this little chat in about 10 minutes or so. So hopefully everyone sticks around to check out the video. And tell me a little bit about what you've been doing because the fans out there love to follow your work. I know you're filming or just got done filming a new movie with some very big stars. Tell me about it.
Yes, they just announced it in Hollywood Reporter. It's called The Chariot. It's with John Malkovich, Shane West, Thomas Mann, Rosa Salazar, and it's like really epic thriller kind of. It's a thinker. It's one of those ones that everybody's gonna walk away with a different meaning behind the movie, and I love that. And my character is a wild one, and I've never played this character ever in my 20 something years of acting, which that gets people thinking. They're like, what do you mean? What has she never played? But this one was actually, it made me really nervous. I had to learn an accent, and it was cool. I had a lot of fun doing it.
That's amazing, because when I think of great actors, one of the first people that comes to mind is John Malkovich.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite movies of all time is a movie he did with Clint Eastwood called In the Line of Fire. And if
Oh,
you haven't seen that one,
it's good.
it's good.
It's
That's like one of the best performances from a villain I've ever seen in my life, and I walk around like reciting his dialogue from that movie all the time.
love that. I just watched Con Air for the first time last night. I thought I'd seen it before, but my guy put it on last night, and it's amazing. He's brilliant in it.
He really is.
He really,
Cyrus, right? Isn't
yes.
his name Cyrus?
Yes.
Cyrus the Virus, right?
Good old Nick Cage as well.
It's a great film. And Steve Buscemi is in that one, which is
Mhm.
really cool. He plays like the Hannibal Lecter.
Danny Trejo's in that. You should have
Yep.
Danny do something with you guys too. I feel like Danny would be a perfect fit.
I would love that. And we're working on some ideas behind the scene. We got to get you in one of our videos or one of our
I
movie
love that.
projects.
That'd be
I
fun.
think you would kill it. So let's make a blood oath to make sure that you join us next time.
Ready? Just kidding.
Yep, I've got a knife here somewhere.
Oh my God, you do.
Yes, it's one of those comb ones.
Wait, is
right?
that a Michael Myers mask I see? A painting?
On the wall? Yeah, right over here.
Oh, look at that. Right in
In
the
true
living
fashion.
That's a special one.
It's pretty cool. I got it at the Melrose Trading Post, the thing that they do at the Fairfax High School like every Sunday.
Oh no, I go there all the time. So going back to this song, I'm curious, why did you choose this song?
You know, the first introduction I ever had to Elvis, and this is kind of funny, my mom used to do these Richard Simmons workout tapes. If you remember Richard Simmons, he's like the fitness guru that was wildly popular like in the 80s and 90s. And he would have these tapes called Sweatin' to the Oldies.
Okay.
And my mom would dance to these tapes, this workout dance, and they had a lot of Elvis on there. And I remember there was like Jailhouse Rock. They didn't have Can't Help Falling in Love because it's kind of more of a slow ballad. But that was really my first introduction to Elvis when I was like 5 or 6 years old, listening to Elvis and just sort of pursuing his catalog. I remember there was, speaking of Nicolas Cage, there's a movie he did with Sarah Jessica Parker. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like James Caan is in it. And at the end, Nicolas Cage ends up jumping out of an airplane dressed as Elvis, and that song plays at the end. And I just thought it was the perfect song to take and mix with the kind of haunting, violent visuals that our band is known for. And there are some creepy lyrics in there, like take my hand, take my whole life too, that when you put it in the context of what we do, it becomes all the more sinister.
Yes.
So that's why I chose it.
And how did you come up with the treatment to the music video? I'm always curious how bands come up with that stuff.
Yeah, honestly, for this one, and I'm usually very hands-on with all of our visuals, and most of our videos always have like a very distinct storyline. And for this one, I kind of wanted to let Miles go wild. He has this really great knack for what I kind of call like Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails style video making, like their song Closer, with all those strange images and like almost Tool-like focusing on like a jar of formaldehyde with like a severed head kind of a vibe. And basically what I told him, I wanted to be me sort of reliving an old memories book. And the only guidelines I really gave him that we wanted to use some of the more vicious scenes from our past music videos, so that I would be opening up the book and then kind of you zoom into our old videos so that it would be kind of like a horrible memories.
Oh, that's
in a good
great.
way.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. And what do you hope that the fans take away from this music video?
Well, what I'm really excited about, and it's much of the same I get excited about when we do songs based on things that I love that maybe other people don't know about yet, is introducing them to new stuff. I don't know how many of our younger fans know too much about Elvis. You know, obviously he's such an iconic figure, but I'm hoping that we get to introduce that newer generation to how great he was and what a star he was. And that's what I love doing. That's why I love being an Ice Nine Kills, because we'll cover, you know, a song about Michael Myers or Jason, and those are like the more known franchises. But when we do things like, you know, making a song about a more obscure slasher movie like Silent Night, Deadly Night that came out in '84 that maybe not everyone on the street knows, I love hearing that, oh wow, you know, we discovered this because of Ice Nine Kills. So I'm
Nice.
hoping we can do the same for Elvis.
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I think you did, honestly. And it goes for me too when I film movies or when I'm talking to youngsters and they don't know the oldies. It's really important for them to know like where everything came from, you know? It's we all come from somewhere. It trips me out when I'm like, "Oh, you've never seen The Goonies or Stand by Me or anything
Right.
like that." I'm like, "These movies made what you watch now." You know? Oh, I love that. Well, I love the song. I think it's terrific, and you did such a great job with it.
Well, thank you so much. And I agree 100% with what you said. You got to respect your elders. You got to respect where things came from. And
Yeah,
not just the bands you love, but the bands that influenced the bands that influenced the bands that you
yeah,
love. And same thing with acting.
yeah.
Um, well, Scout, thank you so much for joining me today. Let's please keep in touch. Let's get you involved in some ink projects, because I would
Yes,
love that.
my phone
And
is always available.
I will be
Okay, great.
hitting you up, guys. And we made a blood oath, so you can be sure that's really going to happen. All right, guys. Without further ado, here is the world premiere of the Ice Nine Kills cover of Elvis.